Hi guys, this is Rob with Deluxe Gaming. Welcome back to my Ship in a Bottle series, episode 21. I have some bad news for everybody. So, me being creative and thinking, you know what, I'm gonna do some work outside of YouTube. I'm gonna build up our little modular ship. Well, because it was taking so long, I didn't want it to take 3 whole episodes. It shouldn't have taken that long in the first place, but I did, and I decided, as you can see, to finish it off and make it look pretty. I added some colors and kind of gave it kind of a dynamic look. All of the tubing's yellow, the green kind of for the drills, and I did actually 2 shades of blue for the ship. I don't know if you can tell here or not. And I decided to finish it off so that it was all ready to go for this episode. And it's one of the first times ever I've actually worked on a ship outside of, I think it is the first time I've actually done any kind of building within Space Engineers for this series outside of YouTube. Everything I've done inside YouTube, so that you guys have been able to watch everything. Now that's why it's taken so long and why it's taken 21 episodes to get to where we are right now. Which, if some people would look at where we are right now and how far we've come with our industrial mothership with Pluto inside of our asteroid here, they would go, oh wow, that's not very far. But we've been on the hardest difficulty settings the whole time. So I think we've done very, very well. Now, I decided to work on the ship outside of YouTube because I just didn't want to, spend another whole episode finishing it up. And I thought I did a pretty darn good job getting it done. Except there was a couple things I didn't think about when I was building this ship. Unfortunately, we had another incident, actually couple incidents with engine placement. As you remember, with Nugget, our other little miner, we had placed a large engine or an engine on Pluto, and Nugget was sitting over top of the engine. And as soon as we activated Pluto and used that engine, the engine fired into Nugget and blew up Nugget. Fortunately, we weren't in Nugget when that happened, right? So we were okay. Now, kind of had another little mishap with engine placement. I placed my engines on this ship, and when I fired it up, actually it wasn't when I first fired it up that I discovered it. It was later on. I noticed that the drills kept getting damaged, and me being so silly, thinking, I think I must be bumping into something that's not there, and whatever. So I repaired them and I got them back working again. And then the modular piece, the connector, kept blowing up, and I was like, what is going on? And then, unfortunately, I blew up. And it all has to do with the placement of the engines, I believe. Something went wrong. So like when the forward firing engines, unfortunately, were too close to the cockpit, I think. They were placed directly above the cockpit, and when those fired, they were actually causing damage to the cockpit, as well as to the drills and to the modular piece. And unfortunately, I died. And as I've said since the very beginning of this series, if I die, whether it be, if it was a bug, which I initially thought it was, I thought it was a bug with Space Engineers, and I thought, oh, you know what, it's a bug, it's fine. Everybody's going to understand it's a bug, so it's okay, I can come back and we can continue the series. No, this was a mistake on my part, and if I was out here in the middle of nowhere and I was trying to survive and I built a ship with an engine that was directly faced into my cockpit and my cockpit blew up, I'm dead. So, with the spirit of the series, unfortunately the series will be over. But let's talk about the positive end of that. First of all, look at what we've accomplished. We have built this maybe a little incomplete industrial ship inside of an asteroid, and it's been a really fascinating journey. I've learned a lot about YouTube. Keep in mind, my very, very first video on YouTube was in this series, and it's episode 1. And you just listen to me then versus now, what a difference. I'm a completely different person. I feel confident, and a lot of you have jumped on for the journey that we've had throughout this whole series. And it's been fascinating, and we've actually accomplished a lot. There's 6 refineries, there's 3 assemblers, there is a large reactor, a whole array of drills, a couple large cargo containers, and the thing flies. It's pretty cool, and we're still within the asteroid. Now, of course, we wanted to make it long and cool and have a finished look, but we actually accomplished quite a bit considering we were playing on the hardest difficulty settings. We did quite an amazing job. Now, the other positive news that I would like to present to you is now we get to move on to something else, and we can maybe tweak the difficulty settings so it's not so difficult, and we can change the rules a little bit so that we can accomplish a lot more in a much shorter period of time. So we are going to do another Space Engineers series. I'm saddened by this, but on the other hand, we've come so far with YouTube, and equipment-wise, in between the time that we started this series, I had an old ratty microphone on my headset, and I had an old 660 GTX video card. Now we have a 780 Ti video card, and we have a Blue Yeti microphone, and I have newfound confidence in YouTube. It's actually going really, really well. So now we get to start a whole new series with that confidence and that quality, the equipment quality, as well as, maybe we're going to do something a little bit more creative in terms of what's coming out in these patches. We've got the rotors, or sorry, not the rotors, the pistons, and I love to say that, pistons. It makes me happy. And all the buttons and stuff. There's so much we can work with, and maybe we can I'll ask you guys what you think we should build. I don't know if anybody's going to pipe up and say anything, but I've got some ideas already on what we can do in our new survival series, and it'll be super fun. And I'm going to tweak the settings so that it doesn't take forever to do all these things. But like when I set out to do something and I say we're gonna use these settings, we're gonna stick with it through the whole thing. Like I'm an honest guy, and I want to work with you at the level that we preset at the beginning. So anyway, we're gonna start something new, and it's gonna be super fun, and I'm really excited to start a journey with all of the tools I've earned along the way. So, although this is a sad day, yes, we died in the series, and as I said before, this is survival. We die, we're done. On the bright side, we are going to start anew, and it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for the new Space Engineers series that's coming up. If you have any ideas or comments about this series, please go ahead and leave some comments. If you like this series, like the videos, it helps me out a lot, and it makes it so that my wife looks at what I do and goes, oh, and says, oh, maybe he's not so crazy, and people actually like what he does. It also, if you subscribe, hey, that helps me out too. I really appreciate that, and we're almost up to 50 subscribers. Woohoo! By the way, that's awesome, really exciting. And we are going to continue doing these other series too as well, like Firefall. I think, I've said all I need to say about Firefall, but there's lots coming for all sorts of new games. I've got some Forest coming up, we've got some KSP coming up. Space Engineers, of course, we're going to just keep doing Space Engineers. We got Sims 4 coming up. There's lots of cool series coming up for my channel too as well. So very, very exciting. Either way, let me know what you think of this series, what you think we should do in the next series, because I'm very, very interested. If you have an idea, why not? Let's do it, it'll be fun. Anyways, thanks very much for watching this series. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you soon in Season 2. Thanks, guys. Take care.